she didn't come from them biologically. But it's amazing when I see them. I'm like, yo, this is magic. This is some kind of, that's her womb magic right there, because she made that child her own. Today I had a beautiful conversation with Mama G, aka Gamma G. She is the high priestess, spiritual mother of the Maroons, and she will be at the Dark Feminine Rising Retreat. I'm so honored to have her there. 2 days we're gonna have her there to share and, you know, just have her in this space in that type of way. I feel like we're very lucky, and I'm just excited for it. I know I say that a lot, but I'm really excited about this retreat and everything that is gonna come with it. She's gonna be doing the opening ceremony, so she's gonna lead us with cleansing and grounding. So anyway, she called me today and it inspired me to really come and have this conversation about something that's been on my spirit for quite some time now. So we had like a 2-hour-long conversation. We spoke about so many things, and through the conversation I was just thinking to myself how much she is the embodiment of what I believe divine feminine energy is. And when you experience her, you will get to understand what I mean. It came to my attention that there are a particular category of women that I was not familiar with. I didn't even know that they existed. And these are women who belittle women who don't have children. I find it so strange, especially for women who say that they are conscious women, because it seems so anti-woman to me. If you are a spiritual woman with a certain level of consciousness, you would understand that all women are mothers, because we have wombs. You were born with a womb. Even if you don't have a womb now, you was born with one, so the energy of your womb is still there. All our wombs are connected as well, right? And so you are automatically a mother when you have a womb. That is the magic of the womb. And while I encourage women to have children early, I believe that's the best way, that women should have children early. It's just that the way how our community is set up, or lack thereof, you know, women don't really have the support that they're supposed to have in community, you know, with multiple aunties, uncles, you know, everybody is there to help in the raising of the child. And so it doesn't hurt or harm when people have children early. In the ghetto, I've observed that lots of young women have children early, and it is good, but the problem is that most of them are single mothers, end up being single mothers, don't have the support of the man, don't have the support of the community either, because in the ghetto there is hardly a thing called community, you know what I mean? So she's doing it all by herself. So it's just a cycle of raising children on your own, and then the children end up being traumatized, and you know, this never-ending cycle of healing that needs to be done. But I think it's the best way if women have children early and right throughout their lives. But I also acknowledge that there are women who don't have children. There are women who don't want children. There are women who can't have children, right? And I don't think that it makes them any less feminine or any less of a woman because they don't have children. That would be very anti-woman of me to think. And I'm not saying that just because I don't have children. Even if I had children, I would say the same thing. It's anti-woman to think of women less because they don't have children. They have wombs. For one, Many women don't have children because of womb complications. Lots of women lost their uterus. They can't have children. That's not something that they can do anything about. You can't grow back a womb. There's no pill for a womb. There's no amount of vitamins you can take. There's no diet that you can change and suddenly you have a new womb. You can't grow it back. After it's taken, that's it, right? So is that woman diminished because she doesn't have a womb? Because she cannot have children? Right? I myself, I lost one of my tubes. I can't grow back my tube. It's gone forever, right? This is one of the reasons why I hate surgery, because I know that once you cut into your body, you cannot replace parts. You can't replace body parts. When them gone, them gone. It's different for a woman who has fertility issues, because fertility is something that you can fix, you can work on. You know, you can become more fertile. You can fix PCOS. Even fibroids you can heal, right? But there are some things that women can't have no control over at all. And I would never diminish them because of that. Another thing is that we don't know people's spiritual contracts. Some people aren't meant to have children on this journey because the agreements that they made before they came here did not include children. They're here on a mission that does not include children. I've seen many women, there are many women, you see them and you just understand they don't have children, but they're on a different journey. You can see that chances are maybe if they had children, they would not be able to be as committed to this journey if it is that they had children. Now, so them couldn't do it, you know, but maybe the level of commitment that they have to this mission, they couldn't do it because they have children. So some people, that's just not a part of them contract. They're here to do something else. And a lot of times you will find that that mission that they're on is always about helping people, and that to me is a very, very nurturing quality. So Mama G was telling me about her spiritual mother, and her spiritual mother who was also the spiritual mother for Winnie Mandela, and she said that she had many spiritual daughters. So I could just imagine, you know, Mama G is her spiritual daughter, Winnie Mandela is her. Who else is this woman's spiritual daughter that we aren't aware of? She told me that she never had children. She never had children, but she had many spiritual daughters. And I said, you know, Mama G, there are lots of people who would diminish a woman who has never had children or don't want children. And Mama G quoted me a scripture from the Bible, something about barren women having many children. If I find it, I will post it so you guys can read it. You can't tell me that there aren't women who are just naturally nurturers, naturally mothers, but they never gave birth to children. There are lots of women who connect to people who aren't their children. There are lots of children who connect to women who aren't their mothers, right? She said she has spiritual daughters herself who her own daughter is jealous of because they have a different type of connection. So human connections is a very, very multi-layered thing. I have met some of the most nurturing women who are childless, but they mother many people. I have seen bonds between women and children that they adopt. Like my mother has a friend who adopted a child, and the bond between them, the bond is so deep that she looks like them. She looks like her mother and her father, and she didn't come from them biologically, but it's amazing. When I see them, I'm like, yo, this is magic. This is some kind of, that's her womb magic right there, because she made that child her own. I think that speaks to the capacity of a woman's heart. You know, when a woman can open her heart up so much to love a child like they came from her womb. A different level of feminine energy. That is divine feminine fucking energy to me. When a woman can love a child like their own. And I've experienced that myself. You know, I've mothered children before. My friend's son, Hassan McDaniel, her son, you know, he calls me mommy. And not just something that him say lightly. You understand? It's because I was there with her, mothering him, because he needed that extra mothering. He needed me to be there. And so to this day, he and I have a bond that is out of this world. I love that boy. He ain't no boy no more. He a man now. But I love him like him come from my own womb, you know. And I'm so grateful to McDaniel for giving us that space to have that bond with each other, because some woman would have jealous, some woman don't want you come close to them pitney, you understand? But that is not the African way. The African way is knowing that children need as much mothering as they can get. And when I see him today, I see my influence. I see it. And she loves it and he loves it, you know. And he will, when him talk about me, right, all who not like me just have to suck it up. All who not like hear my name too bad, right? Because him not small up. He's not gonna minimize the love that he has for me or the bond that he and I have. There are some women who can adopt and love children like it's their own children. There are some women who can love their stepchildren like their own children. Now, some women are struggle to love them step pitney. My father had other children, and one of them lived with us. My sister lived with us for a little time, and you know, my mother is not a terrible person, so of course she treated her nice. You know, my mother is a likable person. She's cool. But can I say that any of my siblings felt like she loved them like how she loved us? No. And that's because my mother just never have that nurturing spirit. She don't have that in her. She does not have it in her to love a child that didn't come from her womb like they did. Because in general, she don't really have the nurturing spirit. So worse for a child that is not hers. But then there's the other side of adoption as well, you know, because I was watching Hood Healer. I was watching her Instagram live the other day, and I was so glad I tuned into it, because she was talking about adoption, you know, IVF and C-sections, and just the spirituality of all of it, you know, and that she feels, because she was adopted, she feels like adoption is a bad idea. Well, it sounded like that. That's what she was saying at the beginning, but I realized that she was really saying that people who don't really have the capacity to love children who are not their own like they're their own should not adopt, and that a lot of women adopt children because they can't have children, and it's not because they really wanted to go that route, you know, and so they still struggle with not being able to conceive, or sometimes it affects the relationship between the mom and the dad, and then there's the adopted child in the middle of all of this bull crap, you understand, that they didn't ask for. So there is that side to it, but it comes again down to certain women just don't have that capacity. So no matter how much you badly want children, and you can't have, and you decide, okay, I'm gonna adopt, and you think that it's gonna be that simple for you to just love a child that is not your own. If you not have that in you, it just not in you, it not gonna work. No care how you try, you will never see that child as your own. And I think it's unfair to take on the role of a mother to a child and not do it 100%. I think that's cruel. And then there are some women who are mothers who birth children and don't have a nurturing bone in them. I mean, some women go through 9 months of pregnancy, push the baby out of them vagina, and don't have not one nurturing bone in them. So having children doesn't automatically make a woman connected to her womb, connected to her heart or her femininity. It's not automatic. For one, it is your heart that makes you feminine, because your heart activates your womb and your light comes from your womb. You are a reflection of your womb, right? So if there is not that third eye, heart, sacral chakra connection, you will never know that nurturing spirit. And you know what? Some women need children. Some women need children to feel purpose. They would never feel purposeful in their life. They would feel lost. So if you are a woman out there who don't feel purpose, you feel lost, you can't connect to people in your space, you cannot connect in general, right? And you feel out of place, go have some children. Go have some children. It's gonna give you purpose, right? So some women need that. Then there are other women who don't need that because they're deeply connected to their womb, deeply connected to other women's womb, deeply connected to the womb of the earth, deeply connected to the cosmic womb. So having children does not diminish them because they feel deeply connected to everything. These are some of the things that we're gonna discuss at the retreat, you know. And as I said before, I welcome all women. Women who don't have children, women who don't want children, women who can't have children, have had hysterectomies, because we're gonna learn how to connect to our hearts, connect our third eye chakra. We're gonna learn to connect to our wombs in a different type of way, you know, and access that magic within us. Don't feel no way. And you know what's funny? I always wonder where, for the women who like to belittle women who don't have children, where is the energy for women who abort children? Aren't they less feminine? I would say so. Yeah, I think it's very anti-woman to do abortions. I hate abortion. I abhor it. It's one of the worst things I think that a woman can do. If you are really tapped into feminine energy, that is what you should be advocating for the life of children. That's it for this discussion. These are other things that are definitely gonna come up in our conversations at the retreat. And so if you're a woman who needs womb healing from whatever it is, you've had difficulty with motherhood, you've had difficulty connecting with other women, you've had difficulty with your own mother and the women in your family, you've been sexually abused, you have trauma from toxic relationships, you've had a difficult pregnancy, you've had pregnancy loss, you have womb issues, fibroids, PCOS, menstrual issues, everything as it relates to womanhood and woman wellness. We'll be going over these things at the retreat. If any of what I've said resonates with you, trust me, you will want to be there. And hurry up and book because the spaces are going. Also, if you're coming in from the States, I looked at a lot of the flights, and right now is a good time to book the flight. And I have a feeling that the tickets are gonna go up really soon. The closer and closer it gets to the retreat, the tickets are gonna get more expensive. So I think now is a good time to book your ticket if you haven't yet. That's it for this video. I hope that you connected with what I said somehow. I hope that it resonates somehow. And you know, I hope I'm reaching some woman out there who feels less than because she don't have children, can't have children, don't want children. It's okay, because in some way or another that mothering is gonna come out of you, that nurturer is gonna come out of you in some other way. It has to. You have a womb. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll link up in the next video. All right, later guys.